On the theme of women, in your commencement speech in 2011 at Harvard, I want to quote what you said. It was the Liberian women who fought the final battle for peace, who came, their number and conviction the only things greater than their diversity, to demonstrate for the end of our civil war. And, if I look back on your presidency, you did so much to educate girls, to empower women, to empower adolescents. One statistic that stood out for me was that you increased the police force so that it was 17% women. Which, if you think about law and order and what that means in a country, that is a remarkable achievement that has many impacts. Women are a remarkable force for change. How can we amplify what you achieved in Liberia, what the women of Liberia achieved, and in a very synergistic way then moved Liberia forward?
Well, to bring women to the progress they have made sometimes takes some surprising measures, sometimes symbolic, sometimes policy dominated. In our case, the first chief of police, we made a woman. At a time.
So you started at the top.
At a time when women did not go to the police. In fact, they were afraid of the police. Right. The police necessarily did not mean their protection. Sometimes is an infringement of their rights.
Right.
And so we set that symbol that a woman can be the head, and so you can look to her. And then we looked around and said, how can we inspire women? We had a peacekeeping force that had a contingent from India, for example. And we discovered that India had a lot of women policemen. And so we negotiated with them. And they sent us a contingent of Indian women police as inspiration to our women. Hey, women can be policemen and they can make a difference. And so that enabled us now. Going forward, it's a question of working with women. I mean, and women at all levels of society. Yes, we have professional women, and those professional women stood up. That brought about a change because they challenge the military status quo. But also the rural women, the women in the informal sector who get forgotten and who don't have a voice. In many ways, that was my target. That meant improving market conditions, farming conditions, because that's where they are. That also meant trying to start some literacy programs. And for many of the young girls who had not had the opportunity of schooling, to have some training programs that gave them skills to enable them to have small businesses. And so the role model there is diversified in the society. And the greatest joy I get is when I go into the rural areas and a woman stands up and say to me, now I can speak.
Yes.
Now I can participate. Now I feel like I belong. Just that statement among themselves is an inspiration and a motivation of itself.
Absolutely.
In my absence, they can carry that word.
Yes.
So the challenge now is to ensure that while I'm not there, that they'll continue this self-confidence. They'll continue this determination to stay fully involved and fully participate in society. But all women, myself included, must continue.
Absolutely.
Must continue to work with them so they don't lose that advantage that they've gained over these years of my administration.